Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting edition of Comic Cave. My name is Chris, here with my hetero life mate, Mr.
Russ.
And today is a special episode, a super happy, incredible episode, because we are here in lovely Houston, Texas, amongst all these wonderful toys and all this wonderful nostalgia.
Just cue music.
Right? Thank you. And we are here with the store owner, Mr.
Juan Salazar.
Juan Salazar. Thank you so much, sir, for having us here. Comic Cave Podcast. We're on the road. Well, Houston, because that's where we're from. But we're on the road. But Juan, thank you so much for having us here. You have a wonderful store, sir. I mean, it is so awesome. Look at all these beautiful toys.
Yeah.
So, honestly, introduce yourself. How long you been in the toy business game? He's a toy store owner.
What is it that you do?
Right.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. This is so awesome. So, thanks for having me. I'm Juan Salazar. I own Super Happy Incredible Toys here in the Heights, and basically all I do all day is drink and talk to people about toys.
Living the dream. Yeah. Living the dream. So, what is talk to people about toys? Anybody come in here and argue with you on your toy? What is your fascination? Who do you like?
Who do I like?
Yeah, what toys do you like?
That was a convoluted question, bro.
Sorry.
You going.
I'm very excited. Look at all this beautifulness. I want that Wolverine up there.
Yeah.
But what are the toys that you collect? What does your arsenal look like?
Well, so my focus, like, because that's what we call them, things, right? Focus.
Mm-hmm.
So my focus was vintage Star Wars. I completed vintage Star Wars, so
very
I'm
nice.
Good. Now,
is it personal collection? Or?
Yeah, that's my personal collection.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
okay.
I have every vintage Star Wars figure, mint, loose, complete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's. I was searching for all that stuff for like 4 years, so it only took 4 years to get it all. For me, though, because of the store, because it takes people longer.
Yeah, this is the way.
It takes people longer. But now what I'm trying to do now is I went from, like, I gave up all my loose stuff. I used to have every Cobra figure from G.I. Joe. I used to have every Transformer from the first two series.
Right.
Now I'm going for, like, carded stuff. So I brought all that stuff into the store, and I'm going for particular carded things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, like, if you're out there, I need a mint on card Demon Warrior from Dragon Riders of the Styx, and a War Duke and Strongheart from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, carded.
Email us at Comic Cave Podcast, Gmail. And if you have that information, we'll definitely give it over to Juan.
Juan will buy it.
Right. So, how long have you been collecting toys? Since you were a kid or teenager?
Was it toys that just always caught your fashion or fancy or whatever? Or was it comics that got you into it? How'd you get into it?
Yeah, it was definitely comics that got me into it. So if I can credit, there's two people that I would give the credit to for me being who I am. My father, who I don't know, man. He was a dork. He was a dork. So my father and Peter Benjamin Parker, Spider-Man. Yeah. So Spider-Man is my first and foremost, above everything, superhero.
That's your homie.
That's my guy, man.
Awesome.
That's my guy. I'll fight for Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
I'll fight somebody over Spider-Man.
Nice.
So I don't know. Growing up, my family really didn't have money for, like, play sets. So I would get action figures every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And my favorite action figure was Secret Wars Spider-Man. And so I would, like, cross-universe play with that. But that scale got me into everything else.
Yeah.
I started, Masters of the Universe from there. And so, yeah.
You grew up in that prime real estate of when you had Voltron, Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters as well, the movie.
80s when everything
80s.
Like, really kind of
so
kicked
you grew
off.
up in that whole maelstrom of, like, what we revere today as awesome toys.
Yeah, I'm old.
We are old too.
I'm old.
I mean, I'm not that young.
I mean, hey, nostalgia definitely sells, though.
I remember USA Cartoon Network. I mean, Cartoon Train, Cartoon Express.
See, I don't even remember that.
I
Was that
do.
on cable?
Yes, we had
See,
cable.
I didn't have cable, yeah.
I'm with you, bro. No, I didn't have it either.
I had the little
lucky.
silver box, the Warner Cable silver box.
Wait,
but,
with that little thing that tick, 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 tick across the top?
yes,
yeah,
fair,
I
sir.
remember that.
I just dated myself. And so, whenever you grew up and you saw these things, like, what do you still have toys from when you were a kid, or you lost them through time?
Yeah, I don't have any toys from when I was a kid, except I have one. Well, two. Now that I think about it, I have two. So one of them is the medical droid from Star Wars, and all of his arms are broken off and shit, and and like I said, I have every figure now, mint, loose, complete. And my kids tell me all the time, they're like, "Dad, you own a toy store. Replace this broken ass figure." But I can't, because that's the one.
The
You don't
that's
figure.
the one from when I was a kid.
Rosebud.
So I keep that.
Rosebud.
I keep that.
And I'm pretty sure you get this question all the time. But it's pretty obvious. But what is your favorite period of toys?
Oh, obviously the 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't collect nothing from like the 50s or 60s or something like that. Like I love Mark's Toys. Mark's Toys
Well,
is
then
like
also
old,
like into that, if that being your favorite, do you think that's also like what sells the best, or do things prior to that like MASH toys or anything like that?
Well,
I love MASH.
Well, for here, so MASH toys actually came out in the 80s.
Okay.
Right? Even though the show was in the 70s,
Uh-huh.
it was, because I just started watching MASH like religiously now. And I love MASH.
And no, it's a classic.
I love
Good.
MASH.
Yeah.
But they waited until season 11 to produce toys.
Really?
That's why there's no Radar. Yeah, that's why there's no Trapper. So
The best.
Yeah, so those are like, so they waited until the 80s. MASH is an 80s toy.
Okay.
But yeah, I grew up in the. What was the question?
What toys do you focus on? The 80s, yes, but like there are no other old toys.
Not
like,
just like personally, but like for the
right,
store.
like
Right.
you like a train set from the 50s or
No,
something.
the 70s is as far back as I'll go because I remember Mego.
Yes.
Like, and one of my first toys was a Mego Spider-Man doll.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember Mego.
Damn.
And that's probably about as far back as I go with toys.
Well, growing up, did you, did you have the Saturday morning cartoons interest and stuff like that?
Oh,
Did you-
absolutely.
Did you wake up? I want to get the cereal boxes and everything like that, and I want all that. Like you were bought, sold, hook, line, and sinker, like I was.
Yeah.
So, like, how far back do you go, toy wise? Like, I know you said you have some 80s stuff, but what is something that you would like to collect even more? Any 90s toys or just strictly 80s, 2000s toys or something like that?
But what would I want to collect more?
Right.
So right now I'm after, I really like the modern Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
But not Siege or like any of these. I like this third-party stuff.
Okay.
There's a company called Fans Toys. I think they're out of China that make amazing examples of what the Transformers should have been. So I'm collecting those now.
Do you also collect the
that-
offbeats?
That kind of goes into like one of my questions of what brands kind of are there for the toys, like what manufacturers kind of do the best, because I know Todd McFarlane, when he came in, he kind of like changed the game on some of the figures and stuff like that, but you're speaking about third-party brands, like what is it that kind of does the best? Like, what do you think?
So when and all of toys, what does the absolute best, and I have a love-hate relationship with them, is Hasbro. Like Hasbro, because there's a lot of Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe Classified and Black Series hype beasts out there.
They are like the Disney of toys right now.
And it's about, it tends to be
I feel
about,
like they do everything.
they do,
Yeah.
and they make exclusives, and the reason I say there's a bunch of hype beasts out there is because it's almost like sneakers. Like, there's a bunch of motherfuckers out there that want to be the first people to have these toys. So they'll step over your grandma in a Target.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do whatever it
I've
takes
seen
that.
to
I've
be
seen
the
that.
to be the
That's wild.
first person to have a certain toy.
Yeah.
And so I think Hasbro right now has the best licenses, but I think who does the best work is NECA. Like,
NECA.
Oh, yes.
NECA does an incredible
I
job
100% agree.
on everything.
They are the new
they
Todd
do.
McFarlane.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually not even familiar. so lay
NECAs
some
are the
game on me.
ones that I have. I have them. You've seen them before. NECAs are the ones that they're very detailed. They're like Todd McFarlane toys from the Spawn eras
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
But
he's doing
but
other stuff
more
now, too.
posable.
Right.
More posable because
Right.
Todd McFarlane, that's
So,
where
like,
he
better
failed.
joints
He was
and-
making statues.
Gotcha.
They have
NECA makes
articulation.
playable shit.
Ah.
Yeah.
They have articulation. But yeah, no, they do Back to the Future. They've done
They do
Turtles.
They have good licenses. And they're very proud of what they do. So
No, you're fine. Speaking of Turtles, are you a big Turtle fan?
I love Turtles.
You love Turtles.
I love Turtles.
What is your best period of the Turtles?
Well, the original period,
Of course.
You know, I mean,
But there have been so many renditions, and everyone
So-
likes the TMNT renditions of the Turtles.
so after the comics, the cartoon,
Right.
like the movie, like that was so I'm a Shredder guy. At the end of the day, I'm a Shredder guy.
I'm a villain guy too.
And that the what was it, 1990 movie, the Turtles movie?
Yes.
That was the best we'll ever get of a Shredder ever. I mean, his costume could have been a little bit more purple,
Right.
but his attitude and everything was perfect. So that's my favorite Turtles.
Are you? I'm introduced to this a lot. People love the first Turtle movie, but they don't really like the second and third ones because they feel like it's more of a commercial movie, their commercial movies.
You're talking about the original live action.
Right, the original 3. But I'm like, they started off as a commercial toy, so how could people be upset? Right, I mean, they started off as their comics were really like mature audiences.
Right.
But what really kicked them off was the kids, the toys. The toys were made before the cartoon show.
So are you trying to get me to talk shit about Ninja Turtles too?
No.
Because if you are, you're asking the wrong person. Because here's a little secret. I'm a huge Vanilla Ice fan.
Go Ninja.
So growing up, when Vanilla Ice showed up on Ninja Turtles 2, I was all for that shit.
You were marking out for Vanilla Ice.
I'm upset about the whole Super Shredder thing.
Kevin Nash.
But I'm willing to
loved all of
overlook
it.
it because of Vanilla Ice. Like Cool as Ice is like one of my favorite movies.
When you were a kid, did you gravitate more towards? And I like to ask this to all people: did you gravitate more towards Turtles, Ghostbusters, or like Voltron, He-Man? Where did you like to go? Or Transformers?
That's an interesting question. I think that my favorite thing when that all came out, when all that awesome stuff was hitting, I think Thundercats was like my favorite cartoon.
The only cartoon that I haven't seen.
Did that translate to that's the type of toys that you liked as well, or did you like more like
because
the
their scale
Transformers
was
toys?
off. I've always been a scale guy, and their scale was a little bigger than everything else. I just think Lion-O's story was amazing. Plus, Thundercats arguably has one of the best intros of all time. Like, you're hooked by just watching the intro. And the music is beautiful, the animation is fluid.
No, I know what that is. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Looking around your toy store, I see you have some WWF figures. Were you a huge wrestling fan growing up?
I mean, I was a huge wrestling fan when it came to Mid-South Wrestling in Houston.
Run by Paul Bosch. He doesn't know that. But Paul Bosch.
Not a wrestling
Run by Paul Bosch. Junkyard Dog was my favorite wrestler.
Yes.
So I grew up with that. And also, my dad. My dad, he loved wrestling. He loved Mid-South Wrestling. It was every 2 weeks at the Sam Houston Coliseum.
Yes.
So he would drag me over there. And
I remember those days.
It was a great time. Like the pizza with roaches that would crawl across of it. But it was delicious. So, I mean, who cares?
Now, I'm sorry. In these recent times, things have not been so well. We've had a pandemic on our hands called COVID-19. I don't know if we're going to get demonetized for that.
No.
But obviously...
What is that, like license? COVID-19 license?
A lot of things are happening. But, I mean, how have you been keeping up during this whole thing?
Has sales gone up or down during COVID?
Well, so sales were really good at the beginning of COVID.
When everybody got the check?
Right. You know, and now after the election and all this uncertainty and people and the extra money that was attached to unemployment going away,
Yeah.
things have seemed to be a little
Died
tougher.
down a little.
It seemed to be a little tougher. Things are slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're okay. We're fine.
Awesome.
We're still giving away something every Friday night for free in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Shout that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Friday night, you can tune in here to your Facebook page.
Right.
And you go live. And if you live in Houston, Texas, you can definitely come in here and get the toy that you win. It's called Collins, or what is it called again?
No, it's called why are you giving Colin?
I'm sorry.
Don't give Colin no credit. It's called the Super Happy Free Friday Giveaway. We do it every Friday night for the most part. Basically, all we do is we drink, we talk shit, and we give away something absolutely free. We'll advertise what the prize is
Right.
on Facebook, or you can choose what's in Colin's mystery box. So it's a live call-in show.
Is that the Collins box?
That's
I'm
Colin's
sorry.
mystery
Okay.
box up there. Yeah.
Do people come in here and do they usually choose that, or do they usually choose a prize?
I mean, it's half and half.
All right.
It's half and half. My co-host Bunneth, he tries. He says he doesn't have a formula, but he gauges on what people choose.
Right.
Like one time, we tried to give away a Sideshow Wolverine, like a $200 figure, and somebody chose like the mystery box.
Mystery box over
Yeah,
there.
and I told Bunneth, you know what, man, you should put a fucking Q-tip or something in there, because that's what they deserve for choosing the mystery box.
Post-it notes.
But Bunneth, he tries to be all like honorable and stuff.
So that actually leads to another thing. Like, how do you keep up with your inventory in here? Is there like a network of people within the Houston community or toy community in general?
That's a good question. Yeah.
How do
Wait,
you
what do you mean? How do I keep up with my inventory?
like where do you get new product from?
Oh,
And-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't really hunt. Like, to be honest, like I know there's people that will go to estate sales and go to garage sales and do all that stuff. We don't really hunt. We let people come to us.
Okay. So you already got kind of that reputation.
I think so. I think we have a really good reputation because there's a lot of toy stores. Maybe there's not a lot of toy stores, but there's toy stores in Houston, and I think we have the best reputation as far as being fair on both sides of that, like what our prices are and what we offer people. So we have a real good standing with a group that I love a lot, man. I don't know if you guys are members of the Houston Toy Psychos group.
I used to be, yes.
Okay, you used to be.
Well, because I kind of got out of the game because my collection is vast and it's great and I love it where it's at. So I'm like, I'm good. So I kind of backed away. But I used to see you at all the all the cons and all the.
That's what I was also going to ask.
Yeah,
we'll do all that.
So
we've been called, like, I didn't make this name up. We've been called the People's Champ of Toy Stores.
Okay.
You know, I mean, and that's what we do. We care about the community. We're the type of store that will post about a competitor, because it's about the toy community.
Right.
You know,
you were talking about that before we even started. There was a con or something that was going on. You were trying to send people to go.
Houston show.
Yeah, you were still trying to get people to go to that and then come back.
Yeah. So our good friend Kevin runs the Northwest. This is a long ass name. It's like the Northwest Spectacular Houston Toy Show.
Been there.
So
awesome. If you're in Houston,
it's catchy, man. No, you just remember it rolls off the tongue.
He runs that. Our friend Mike runs the Gulf Coast Toy Show. We have our own toy show that's at St. Arnold.
Okay.
That happens every year,
I
but
didn't know that.
But COVID fucked up our last show.
Right.
But we'll be doing it again in March, hopefully. But
tentative.
But that's what we do. We promote the community, not just us. Yeah. Because we're very secure in who we are.
So you think
and
that
what we represent
kind of build the atmosphere that you bring to the table and the reason why people kind of come to you?
I think it. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I definitely think so.
That's
but
good.
the way I see it is, I'm not in the toy business anyways. Toys is just a backdrop. I'm in the people business, so it's all about
trying to make people happy.
It's all about the people to me, man.
Yeah.
This is called Super Happy Incredible Toys. We're going to take a quick commercial break, Russell. We'll be back after these messages. Please
get a little tour.
And a little tour of this awesome store. We'll be back after these messages. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't that an awesome commercial? This awesome toys, awesome show, Russell. It was awesome everywhere.
I thought so. Yeah.
Juan, you have an amazing collection. Before we get into the other questions, but how long has it took you to accumulate all this stuff?
With the stuff in the store?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's revolving.
How long have you been in business? That's a question that we should have asked. How long have you been in business?
Well, so the store has been in business, I want to say 9 years now.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been in business?
How long have I been in this? So I've been in this store, I want to say 4 years. This is in June. It will wait.
No, it has to be more than 4 years.
Maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
So you picked this up from somebody else?
Yeah, I bought this from a friend.
Nice.
I bought this from a friend. It was going out of business, and I bought
saved it. Yeah, good for you though.
I guess I saved it, or I made it worse. Who knows?
No,
oh, come on,
bro.
Who knows?
Because the other guy that was here, he's awesome. He's the one who
very nice.
He was introduced me into a lot of stuff. You guys used to have a store out in I-10 on a old, or he did. I don't know if you were partners with him yet or not. Mm-mm. But he had an old store out in I-10 and Kirkwood, or
you talking about that house?
No, it was it was like a strip mall for. What do you call
it?
Oh. Yeah.
It was like a strip mall, and he was in there, and I first met him there. Actually, he sold me there was whenever you guys had Star Wars stuff, well, whenever he had it, he sold me some stuff. And I was like, how much would you sell this for? He sold it to me for like $20, and it was like easily a $40 to $60 toy. Mm-hmm. And then he moved here, and I was like, oh, you're the guy over there for I-10. He's like, yeah, now we're here, and then you came in. And then he's been selling me things ever since then. That had to be 2015. That had to be
Nice.
there. Somewhere's there.
I lose track of time.
Everybody does.
I lose track of time.
Russell's questions?
So, out of everything that's kind of come through the store, what would you say is like the most crazy thing that's come through?
The most crazy thing. So
Either expensive or just what you
Man,
think
little
is
penny.
like rare stuff. So we had a vinyl Cape Jawa come through.
Okay.
You know, vinyl Cape Jawa is something that's really crazy in vintage Star Wars lore.
Big time.
I kept that. But we had a vinyl.
So
we had
how
a
many
vinyl-
items come in that you might be like, I'm not
Right.
gonna keep this
I
one.
really try not to do that. I
Yeah.
really do. I really try not to keep anything. We've had Megatron, the G1 Megatron in a box, come through the store like
The
4
gun.
times. The gun.
The gun,
You've had some like larger items come through too, like the full was it helicarrier or something for GI Joe?
Yeah,
and
we've
things
had that come
like
through like 3 times.
Seriously.
Yeah, well, so one thing that we do, like, so my business partner here, Paul, he's a big GI Joe guy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the, I would say in the country, maybe in the world, he's probably in the top 10 of GI Joe collectors. Motherfucker has everything.
Dang.
So it's important to him that we're like the authority when it comes,
When it comes
to
to
GI
GI
Joe.
Joe.
So we've had the flag come through, mint loose complete.
Yeah.
We've had it come through in a box. We've had it come through like
Wow.
maybe 4 different times, and we've sold them in like maybe
Seconds.
an hour, maybe
Yeah.
an hour at the latest.
Wow.
I remember, you had the big ship. It was back in the room back there.
I was putting it together for somebody or something, right?
And you were like, a cop was back there. I think it was a cop who bought it.
yeah.
I was like, cops are collecting toys. Houston,
Hey, everybody's got a little hobby.
Right,
bro.
everybody has a hobby.
Yeah.
But so the craziest thing, like, what was it? Like, did you ever get something that very obscure, very like what, like I don't know if I can sell this or not. I don't know if I can move this.
something so obscure that we didn't know if we could move. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, that stuff happens.
Did someone bring a pet rock into the store? I mean,
Nobody's brought a pet rock in the store. We have a $5,000 Beanie Baby up there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
By the door?
by the door. We're hoping somebody steals it.
What?
We put it up there, so it's a joke, obviously, because no Beanie Baby is worth $5,000, right?
Right.
But we
I
put
was
it
gonna
up,
ask, yeah.
We put it up there as a joke, and the other day I had this family come in, and we were kind of busy, and the dad was like, "Holy shit, do you see this?
Yeah.
We have the same Beanie Baby in the garage." And I was like, "Hey man, I got to break it to you. I'm sorry to be the one that breaks it to you. That's a joke."
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny.
So then, how do you kind of price things? Do you have like a team that kind of helps you with this, or
Well, yeah,
or like you have specialties that you guys each?
I have a
know?
team, and we do have specialties.
Okay.
But the specialties are more for completing things,
Okay.
right? So,
You know what's in the sets.
Right.
Gotcha.
so Paul obviously is the GI Joe guy.
Mm-hmm.
We have probably the greatest vintage Star Wars person in the history of vintage Star Wars in Colin.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the Rain Man of vintage Star Wars. It's crazy. Bunneth is like the robot guy, anything robot. And then Alex is Ninja Turtles. Alex can take a pile of Ninja Turtle weapons and separate them. Like, just you can give him a pile. It's
That's some OCD stuff.
Oh,
though.
it's ridiculous. But he knows them all.
Yeah.
One day, he put something with a character, and I said, "Alex, that's not the right one. Because look at this website says that it's wrong. This website
He
says
bought
it's
the
this
website?
color." Alex said, "No, that's bullshit. That's the website is wrong." And we researched further, and Alex was right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
he's-
I have a team that does that, but we usually go by eBay sold prices.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
what actually sold and not
Yeah.
bids or
Yeah.
anything like that.
What is
we-
the? Oh, go ahead.
We go eBay sold, and we price under that.
Okay, that's cool.
No shipping and handling needed. But what is the one toy or toys that sell the most here? Do you have any kind of particular Marvel, DC, Turtles, Tycho?
Do you think that changes depending on like movies and stuff that comes out?
I think that what challenges number one changes, but what number one doesn't change. Like G1 Transformers is number one here. But I think that every month or so, something challenges it. Something will show up, like Masters of the Universe will be like real hot for a month. G.I. Joe will be real hot for like 3 months. But at the end of the day, G1 Transformers is the one that punks everybody else.
Does like movies and TV shows, does that kind of seem to affect it at all?
Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. But nothing beats a fucking vehicle that transforms into a robot.
Right, right.
Especially for a boy.
Yeah.
Like nothing beats that.
Maybe a dinosaur that transforms into a robot.
And they
Dinobots.
Yeah,
and
right,
they have
right.
that. So I mean, everything comes and goes, but G1 Transformers are forever.
Okay.
That's what it seems like, at least.
I'm kind of surprised that it outdoes like GI Joe. I feel like that's like one of like the I want to say leads in the market or whatever. But
there's a big four.
It's
There's obviously a big four.
Gotcha.
You know, there's a big four that'll weigh over everything, but Transformers is number one in that big four. Yeah.
In your opinion, what is the one thing that you can't believe it's number one in sales? Like, why is that a thing? Like, just for instance, is that like people buy up Hot Wheels or something? Like, why is a Hot Wheels? I mean, Hot Wheels are great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
when did Hot Wheels even pick up in popularity?
90s probably,
90s?
maybe 80s. I'm not sure. But what is the one thing that you're just like, why is that a thing? Like
Pokemon,
Beanie Babies.
Pokemon.
You don't get Pokemon?
Pokemon. Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah. How? Okay, so that's a good like American versus like foreign type stuff. Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, things like that. Like, do you sell more of the American stuff, or do you see people coming in looking for some of that other?
Well, the thing is like, it's hard for me to gauge it because we don't get a lot of that stuff in.
Got you.
But when we do get like vintage Dragon Ball Z in,
Yeah,
it goes that.
quick.
Yeah.
Like
I had a guy.
I'm a big Dragon Ball fan.
When we got vintage Dragon Ball Z, I want to say we had maybe 20 pieces. We had the entire first run or whatever it was, and I posted it at like 10, and we opened at 11. At 11, a truck pulled in, almost ran into the building, and somebody ran in and bought them, like all of them.
Dang.
I said, well, he's like, how much is this? I'm like, which one? All of them. Like, okay, well, this much.
Yeah,
And he bought them.
That's wild.
So, yeah, I mean, but it's just not, it doesn't come in enough.
It just doesn't come in as
for me to
frequently.
gauge where it's at. But that was pretty awesome. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Pokemon stuff, Super Mario stuff sells really well.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of toys?
Is
I
it
know they got like
Nintendo in
dolls
general,
and
or
stuff.
just Mario?
Yeah, Nintendo in general, for
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
Like there was these, I don't know, there was trophies that they came out with.
Right.
That they were little
Like banks?
statues, almost like banks, but you could write your high score and when you accomplished that goal on this level.
Yeah.
And those things sold fast, and they were expensive. They were like $150, $200 for a piece, and they sold really quick. And that's super happy prices.
Right.
I mean, imagine what other prices would be.
Is there
Right.
anything in the world that you would love to come into the door and you could see it in person?
Yes, rocket firing backpack Boba Fett.
That's a very rare. It's not even sold. You have to know someone who has it. It's very rare.
I would love to see that. I've seen a Wonder Bread He-Man, but a rocket firing backpack Boba Fett.
You would love
Is
to
that
see
one
that in
that you
person.
wouldn't let go out the door? You say, "Oh, that's my personal
That's
section."
yeah,
now.
man, that's coming home. That's coming home. I tell you this, about 7 years ago, I passed on a chance to buy one for $10,000, and I fucking regret it.
It didn't come through. You found it online or something.
Yeah, it came around my vicinity.
How much stuff
And that was
comes
before
in?
the store.
How much stuff comes in like physically through the door versus like you find online that are like good deals?
Well,
and stuff?
I would say 90%
Actually comes through.
Yeah, I don't do anything online.
Oh, wow.
I don't ship.
Okay.
That's one thing I don't do. I'm a local store. I try to make everything as organic as possible.
We stay live. We stay loco.
I try to make everything as organic as possible. So I don't ship. I don't hunt. Let everything come to me.
Nice. That seems to be a good philosophy. Seems to be working.
Wrapping up some things, some last questions that we have. Does nostalgic sell?
Absolutely.
Have you seen anyone come in here and spend a ridiculous amount of money just because of nostalgia? Like, does anyone come in here like, yeah, I want that, and I don't care how much it costs?
I don't know. I mean, that price so fair, it doesn't really.
They're just like, cool.
Yeah. I mean, everybody trusts us. So.
It's part of that brand that you built.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things I don't like is I don't like the flea market mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't
Bargaining.
like the idea of pricing something so high, hoping that you're going to get that amount, and making a deal with somebody to be like, oh, you got a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So I price everything reasonable to begin with.
So then,
That's pretty cool.
Where do you see the business kind of going in the future? You see it expanding more? You see?
Well, so we're going to be on Amazon's A Toy Store Near You.
Okay.
Right, we have an episode that should be coming out in February, I believe, right before our toy show. We have a reality show that we're filming a pilot for.
Really?
In March, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
that's awesome.
It's called The Shit Show.
Hey,
It's called the shit show.
Super Happy Incredible Toys.
That works.
Yeah. So
where's that? Can I ask? Where is that supposed to be coming out on?
So we don't know where it's going to be coming out yet.
Okay.
Where it's going to be coming out because a pilot is somebody believes in you enough to film it,
right, to try to get it
and
done.
then they pitch it to different.
So it's like kind of comic book men type deal, but
Clerks
around the toys. Or?
meets comic book man.
I feel like the way I described it in the pitch meeting was it's The Office meets Pawn Stars.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I can give you $5 for that. I'm sorry.
So there'll be a storyline because it's about us.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, we're not in the toy business.
So
we're
like
in the people business.
mockumentary almost style thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
That's
That would be
exciting.
really awesome.
Yeah, for real.
That sounds really. I would totally watch that, like a mockumentary.
So you're not
of a
just
toy store.
expanding within the shop itself. You're expanding beyond that. It seems.
Yeah. I mean, this shop is just a place for me to hang out and have fun. This is a clubhouse.
Yeah.
Everything else is what we do.
Bonus.
This is a clubhouse for us.
If you could be selling something else, what else would you be selling?
Marijuana.
Damn. Well, you're in Texas, sir.
But you asked me if I could be selling something else. What I would be
If he
selling.
could.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
I'd be selling marijuana.
It is a merchandise. It is a product.
I
You
would be
can
selling
sell it.
marijuana.
We noticed during the commercial and everything, when we walk around here, you have lovely artwork that you've done and also that you've told me that other people have done. Please highlight on the stuff that you've done. What inspires you? You're like a modern day Rembrandt of comics.
Oh.
I just said that, but yeah.
Well, you know, I'm an artist. Like my I've been drawing since I was a child, but sometime in high school I picked up painting. A teacher introduced me to Vincent van Gogh, and so I was fascinated with the Impressionists and all that stuff. So I studied it, and everything in here I've painted pretty much, with the exception of maybe 3 paintings. But everything in the store I consider sellout paintings.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, like, so people buy up everything that's in the store. But I'm an Impressionist artist and I paint landscapes and things like that. But everything that I put in the store, like this Baroness painting,
Stuff that you think will sell.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's just to make people happy.
Right.
I don't really
Voltron.
care about the money, honestly. It's just
Right.
it makes people happy. But it got to a point where I can't even take commissions anymore.
Mm.
'Cause I was just getting bombarded.
So I was going to ask that, and that was going to be our next question. If you can, like, if people were to come to you and say, "Hey, can you paint this or can you do that?" You would be like, "Nah, I'm more of like my own thing."
Yeah, so no, I can't paint this or do that. I mean, I can, but I won't.
Right.
So this is basically it. If you like my art, I paint what I want to paint, and if you feel it, you can buy it.
Nice.
Strong words from a strong man. Russell, any last questions?
No. All right. Well, yeah. One kind of question I actually meant to ask a little bit earlier, but why toys and not comics? Do you like? I'm sure people try to come through and try to do comics and stuff with you. Is there any reason why that you kind of went this route?
One, I'm more passionate about toys. Actually, I like comics. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but
We wouldn't be
They
able
go.
to
They go hand in hand.
I do like comics. I don't collect them now, but I did. But at the end of the day, my dad would, and he's gone now. Like, my dad passed away about 6 years ago. And so every Saturday, my dad would take me to the movies and buy me a figure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing that we would do. And so
That's awesome.
I do this, and I like this, because when people come in here, especially when it's a dad and a son, or a mom and a son, it doesn't matter. When it's family stuff, it reminds me of me and my dad. And so
bring a tear to my eye, man. That's awesome.
And so I think the main reason behind the toys for me is because it keeps me closer to my dad. Like, when I get something that me and my dad have been looking for forever,
Mm-hmm.
like my carded merman, when I finally got that, I was like, "Look, Dad, we finally got fucking merman." You know?
I'm a little
So-
different.
It's a merman.
Yeah,
No, I'm
so-
sorry.
Yeah.
Poetry in
That's
motion.
awesome.
Raymond Salazar. Thanks
Some
so much.
heart right there
That's
for
awesome.
real.
You know what? I kind of want to buy something right now.
All right, come buy this stuff.
So
Bring your kids.
wrapping up, sir, do you have anything you want to promote for your upcoming store? It's an awesome store. We want to get your voice out there. Now, it's already out there. People come. People know what this place is. If you live in Houston, you know who Super Happy Incredible Toys is. Sorry. But anything you want to promote, any upcoming sales you have coming out, let it all out.
I mean, well, we have a toy show that's hopefully going to come up in March, at St. Arnold. We love St. Arnold. They're good friends of ours.
Great beer.
They're going to name a beer after us, apparently.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Super Happy Incredible Brew is coming
Nice.
in 2021.
Comic Cave Brew.
Hopefully COVID don't fuck that up.
All right.
All right. So yeah, that's all I have. But what I would recommend is follow us on Facebook because we promote everybody in Houston. Everyone that sells toys, we prop up because we know it's a community and we need this thing to grow. So follow us on Facebook if you do anything.
And you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Russell, we have something for the
And Twitter.
viewers. We have
Not
a
Twitter.
the what?
I said no, wait, not Twitter. Spotify, iTunes. There you go.
Also Spotify. Yes, I'm sorry, but we have something for the viewers. If you guys, a prize. We have a prize for you guys.
Can you zoom in on this, bro? Right here. Yep. Come on.
We have a prize for this. It is a Libramejo Batman. Now, Russell, how can the beautiful people of this how can they get this?
All they got to do is subscribe to us on YouTube and put a comment down below, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Comment down below, subscribe, and you can win this awesome.
Like, follow, subscribe, comment.
And ring that
All the
bell.
things.
That's what they always say. Ring the bell.
Yep.
And you can win this awesome Batman Libramejo exclusive.
I almost didn't want to let it go. I didn't know this was what was going
Yeah,
on.
no, it
Okay.
was pretty awesome.
That was-
But ladies and gentlemen, that'll do us for here at Comic Cave Podcast. My name is Chris, here with my hetero life mate, Mr.
Russ.
Thank you so much, Juan, for letting us in your abode of toys. It's very awesome. Hopefully, maybe next time you can be on the show one more time. Second round of toys or something like that. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, peace.